I'm here at Exchange with Kirsten Kraft, CRO of Prolifics. Kirsten, what questions do your customers come to you with around AI?
So, actually a lot of our customers don't come to us asking about AI specifically. They'll come to us instead asking about how can you help us solve a business problem? And oftentimes we'll learn, as we're talking through the requirements for that AI is actually a great tool that will help us solve that larger business problem.
Awesome. So can you give me an example of some of the use cases you might pitch to clients that do involve AI?
Sure, I've got a couple. So one might be where they want to provide their customers more self-service capabilities. So we actually work with a legal firm who wanted to give their customers the ability to start writing wills themselves, right? So it's actually AI is basically a junior legal assistant, if you will. We also have other examples on the back end. So we have some clients who have large legacy systems and they want to do application modernization. However, those old systems are not well documented. So they're trying to understand, how do we actually understand what the system is doing? Well, there's AI tools that can definitely help us do that as a part of an application modernization project.
And that's amazing because some of these applications, some of these servers can be extremely old, extremely outdated, use languages that are, programming languages that are dead that no one even remembers how to use anymore. The guy that did it probably retired 20 years ago. You've got to have an enormous amount of trust in the AI tools to give you the right information. So how do you go about translating that trust and that faith to your customer base?
Well, there's certainly a human effort as well, right? So you have to have a human that reviews the results of that tool and make sure that it is actually accurate. But a lot of that heavy lifting can be done by the tool itself.
And then there's that next stage when you're modernizing that system. Often, if we're talking in the financial services industry, where I think a lot of legacy architecture still exists, the entire business can be predicated on that system not falling over, which is why no one's touched it for 20 years, because the idea of ruining it is the whole business is gone. So again, it's a question of trust. How do you build that up with your clients?
So one thing to keep in mind is we're not using AI to read and understand that old system and then automatically convert it and suddenly, boom, you've got a new system. That's not the way it works. You use AI as a part of your overall process around application modernization. You use it to understand some of the code, you validate that, and then when we're building systems for application modernization, you're actually building a system in parallel. So you're not turning off that old system. So there's naturally a lot of verification that has to happen as a part of that process, and we actually use AI to help us with some of that verification as well against like test case automation, things of that nature.
And do you use AI to write your code, to write code in these old sort of almost dead programming languages as well? Is that a thing that AI can do?
Well, AI is typically not going to be writing COBOL for you, but it can take COBOL and it can turn it into some of the newer application languages. So you can definitely use it as a starting point, and then your application developers come in and they validate that code and make sure that it's behaving properly.
And is this something other companies are doing as well? Are the big integrators sort of looking at this as well, or is it something that's sort of quite unique to Prolifics?
So I'm sure that, these are tools that are out there on the market, right? So it's not anything that's very specific to Prolifics, but we have been doing automation. It's in our DNA. We've been doing it for over 40 years. So I would say we adopted it a lot faster than some of the large offshore providers have done as well. So we definitely have a leg up as far as helping our clients use automation and AI to speed up all of their internal processes.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much for speaking to us today, Kirsten, and thanks for watching.